Uh, I don't know. I just don't know anymore. I just don't know anymore. I just don't know anymore. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Wow. Wow. It's incredible. It's actually like you have to admire at this point that they just find new ways every single time. Holy shit. I'm genuinely speechless. And I know I shouldn't be, considering it felt like going into it, they were going to lose no matter what. But it's just that they amaze you. They just outdo the way that you think they're gonna lose. Like it I honestly just thought today going into it, it was outright going to be an ass whooping. Like I thought the Mets had no chance in this game. Instead, Marte, home run. Alonso, forgot to mention that, ends up tying the record. Of course, it was in a game like this. Um, the Alonso home run happened first, though, and the way this game went, anytime the Mets had the lead, Milwaukee, here's a silver platter with the lead on it. Take it. We don't want it. Lindor, constantly making costly errors this year. And I don't care because I see people on Twitter, oh, don't tell me he doesn't care anymore. He's throwing his glove in the dugout. Look at him. I don't care. I don't give a fuck that he's throwing his glove in the dugout. You know what would make me show he cares and make me give a flying fuck? Is results. Not captain material. I don't care anymore. He could care all he wants. Results. Because he had an opportunity right before that with the bases loaded. Struck out. Had an opportunity again with the bases loaded. Double play. And like I said, take the lead, give it back. This team is being backpacked. I shouldn't say backpack because they're not winning, but their offense is running through a 50,000-year-old designated hitter right now in Starry Marte. When you have Nimmo, Lindor, Soto, and Alonso making $2 billion combined by the end of their contracts. Just for Starling Marte to be the source of offense, just for Bryce Terang to hang his ball sack all over you when he's making a fraction of the price this entire Brewers lineup is. And Mullins gets his first big hit. Great. And then what happens? Frankie Montas, sweeper right in the wheelhouse of Bryce Terang. Don't worry, Captain Solo came to the rescue in the top of the fifth, though. And then in the 7th, this is where the chain reaction comes in, though, right? Because Ryan Stanek comes into the game. This is the fault of the chain reaction of yesterday, Brooks Raley not being as crisp. This is the chain reaction of Reed Garrett having to be used in the first inning because Frankie Montas sucks. This is the chain reaction of Frankie Montas throwing, 60, 70 pitches in 2 or 3 innings? He threw 60 pitches to get 6 outs tonight. So Ryan Stanek was one of your only options here. And then a ground ball to Lindor. And could have been a play at home plate potentially. And instead, Ryan Stanek just standing in the way of the throw that could have went to home plate from Lindor, so Lindor has to take the other out. Ryan Helsley comes in. He allows a single because Ronnie Mauricio can't make a grab. And then you have the pitch clock violation. After the Mets are walking off the field thinking they kept it a 1-run game, which I would not even give a fuck. To me, that's where I don't even give a flying fuck that Helsley allowed the home run. Honestly, for the better, because 1, this team deserves to get kicked in the testicles more. 2, just put me out of the misery early with this game to officially know it's over before they do the typical Mets tease later on. And 3, by the slim chance you need Edwin Diaz tomorrow, let it be, because they weren't scoring anyway. And then Ryan Helsley, super pen, baby. Home run, next pitch to William Contreras. Hey, Cedric Mullins hit a single off Trevor McGill, everyone. The last time this team went on a 18-30 stretch, by the way, I want to just remind everyone the last time this stretch happened, for everyone that's saying it's okay, the record, just no big deal. Just shove that up your fucking keister. Shove it up your ass. Because the last time this happened, 2021. Thank goodness for the extra wild card this time around. If they even get there. But all I know, if this team, 1, misses the playoffs, or 2, when they inevitably get bounced in the wild card, heads better fucking roll. Because this has happened way too much with this group. And I'm fucking tired of it. The aforementioned 18-30 run, the great collapse in 2021, 2022. Oh, look at this team. Wagon. 100 wins. And then you look back, August and September, they were garbage. They might get bounced in the wild card. And Joe Musgrove, San Diego Padres, fucking whatever the fuck Musgrove did there, hanging his testicles all over the Mets franchise. 2023. So bad to start that season, forced into being sellers. To where you had the Jonathan Aruzes of the world trotting out there at second base. Last year, started off 0-5. We all know the story. 0-5. Started piss poor. Then you add a washed up JD Martinez and a Latin pop star walk into that clubhouse and grimace throw out the first pitch, whatever the fuck you want to point it to. You had those guys step into that clubhouse, though. And all of a sudden, team turns around. Impressive. So much so they go to the NLCS, and credit to JD Martinez for helping out the hitters, right? Credit. All the credit in the world to him. And I thought for a minute, and it's insane that I even thought it, I thought, and I guess as a Mets fan, it was crazy for me to come to this conclusion. I would have thought adding Juan Soto to a team that made the NLCS last year, and after that piss poor start last year, this and going to the NLCS, giving the Dodgers a fight nonetheless. I thought for whatever reason, there's no way they are going to have these kind of stretches again. They might have a bad stretch here and there. It's baseball, it happens. But I thought we were past this. This is why we hear same old Mets. This is why we hear it from every other fan base in the sport. Because it's a comedy. It's a timeless classic at this point. And last year, we didn't hear it. It was beautiful. And what, are they folding because there's expectations now to be good? Like I've said for the past few weeks, if they can't handle the grind of a 162 game regular season to just simply get into the playoffs, when, need I remind you, they were 20 games above 500, it's down to 9. Erasing that 7-game win streak you had, you might as well have not had it, and you might as well be at 500 at this point. Either way, though, you didn't hear any of that. And now there's expectations. And if you're folding because of expectations, nope, this group isn't it. You don't have the right guys. And believe me, I am tired of Eric Chavez as much as the next guy. He's horrible. But there is something going on up here with these guys that this is the bullshit every year with this group. And you know what? I was saying this at the start of last year when they started piss poor. I was saying you got to blow this thing up. You don't have the group. And then they did what they did last year. Again, the sucker I am thought, no way. No way they let that happen again. Only to have, at one point, being 20 games above 500. At one point, having, I believe, a maybe even 7-game lead over the Phillies. And I could tell you right now, at the end of the month, the Phillies are going to wipe their ass with this team at Citi Field. Wipe their ass. I've been trying so hard to sit here and at least be level-headed. At least say to myself, for April and May, this is mostly, you know, the offense is too good to be this bad, but they do have to clean it up. Then it became June, and then July, and here we are. Here we are. All you could do at this point, if you're looking for any sort of sliver of hope, and I'm going to keep repeating the thing that I say is the only sliver of hope, which is not even a sliver of hope. It is legit swimming in delusion if you think this way, and it is legit just praying for a miracle at this point. By some Christmas miracle, right? By some miracle, this team gets their heads out of their ass once the calendar flips to October. If they get to October, that is. Just want to make that clear again. If they get to October, if there's a magic switch that they have that could propel them to go far in the dance. But I could tell you right now, you, me, everyone shouldn't be counting on this. Because if that's the hope, you don't have the right group. You could call up Sprout, McLean. At least that gives people a reason to go to the ballpark and watch games. But I feel horrible for them if they step into this clubhouse knowing this is the offense they're going to get. They're going to watch Brandon Nimmo go up there trying to be their run support and strike out 50,000 times a game, watching fastballs go by. They're going to watch Francisco Lindor fold under the bright lights. Captain Solo do nothing with guys on base. I just want to remind everyone, the Reds have the tiebreaker on them. Yep. Reds have the tiebreaker. So, this whole making the playoffs thing, it's starting to become a fairy tale. It feels like the Mets are the team playing catch up right now. While the Reds, honestly, if I'm the Reds, feet up, kicking back, we're making the playoffs. We could, like, they don't actually control their own destiny, but it kind of feels like they control their own destiny in a way here. Like, they could be just all relaxed. Like, like, this is how bad it is, by the way, because I just pulled up the Red schedule and I just want to I just made myself want to put my head through a wall even more. We're at the point with this team, okay? We're at the point where we might have to root for the Phillies next week just so this team makes the playoffs. We have to decide, do we root for the Phillies so this team could maybe make the dance, or do we root for the Reds because we hate the Phillies either way and we still want a chance at winning the division? That is the questions that we have to ask ourselves here for a team that, I'm going to repeat it, was 20 games above 500 at one point. But that's where we are, where we have to sit here and actually question, who do we root for this upcoming week? I actually can't believe this is where we are. And the San Francisco Giants, who you bought from, they still have a chance too. I mean, they have the luxury of playing the Rockies twice, the Cardinals, Diamondbacks. I mean, if I'm them, the Orioles, feet up also for them. They might have a legit chance. I can't believe it. I can, but I just, it's hard to fathom at the same time. That's what's insane. It's like you can believe it because you've seen the movie, but it's also just unfathomable to believe that like this is actually happening in front of our eyes. Just 2 weeks ago, we're sitting here talking about this team's got to win enough games to get a bye. A bye. Get the bye. Remember the old get the bye conversation? Funny. Funny. Funny memories. All that could go in the rearview mirror. I didn't even get to comments yet. I really need to get to the comments and see what you guys are saying. Because I want to put my head through a wall. And I could sit here and say all this, but I want to see what you guys say. And all I could say, no, I'm not even going to say it because it's just like, it's laughable to even say at this point where it's like, prove me the fuck wrong, you dumbasses. Prove me wrong and let me look back on the stream here on August 9th where I said that you guys have to be, this group has to be blown to smithereens. Let me look back at this and laugh at how stupid I am. Go ahead and prove me wrong. I challenge you. But is that happening? No. No way. There is no way. They have no heart, and they will not make the playoffs. I'm not arguing. The point was, this is what makes it even more funny, Ray, for why they did the opener. You ready to hear why they did the opener if you didn't hear Mendoza's reasoning by any chance? Because I think he talked about it on WFAN. The whole reason is so he didn't have to face the order for a third time. He didn't have to face the top of the order 3 times. And because his pitch count went so high and because he labored through innings, that's where you got the predicament where Gregory Soto has to come in the 5th and you have to use Ryan Stanek. Because who else are you going to use? Brooks Raley's not available back-to-back days. Justin Hageman you could have used. I mean, the only other thing that I am willing to argue is David Stearns gets blame in that regard because Rico Garcia, in the small amount of time that he was here, showed me way more than Ryan Stanek has this entire season. So if you want to blame Stearns for getting rid of Rico Garcia, I'm right there with you. I think that's a very fair argument, given what Ryan Stanek has been this year. Seems like it, Jim. I'm already like, I've never been so down bad for football in my life. Like, that is where we are. And I want to make it clear, because in case you don't know, I do root for a good football team, actually. So it's not like it's a pain in the ass. But if you also don't know, unfortunately, I was given the genes. I don't know what you want to say it is, but my brain is wired. Sure, we'll go with that instead. My brain's wired to care about football and hockey, or not football and hockey. I wish football and hockey. I wish football. My brain's wired to care mostly about baseball and hockey above everything else, unfortunately. So this is why you get me where I'm like borderline the Joker in these streams. That's the unfortunate thing. That's how my brain is wired. It sucks. I hate it. I am trying to rewire my brain. But unfortunately, that's the way my brain is wired. Where instead of caring about my football team, as you can see on the hat in the back, See that? Champions. Fortunately, I care about this shit more. This is what I care about. This is what I care about more. This. Can't argue this either. Because, you know, as I'm watching this game too, and I'm watching Mullins get that hit against Ashby, I'm like, exhibit Z of why this manager is clueless. Because how do you not start this guy when he has good reverse splits against lefties? And he showed his reverse split abilities tonight. And I'm sure next time a lefty's starting, oh, nope, Mullins, not in the lineup today. It's getting to the point where it's the exact same. And that is why I tweeted this jokingly, of course. But that's why you might have to throw me into the foam room. They've absolutely mailed it in. 1,000,000%. 1,000,000,000%. They've mailed it in. He owns this team. Yeah, can't wait for this. Another players only meeting. That ought to save them. That ought to turn it around again. Again, prove me wrong. Prove me the hell wrong somehow. I would love nothing more than to be wrong. How are the Knicks the most competent New York team? It's a very good question. Yep. Yep. This is where we're at. Because you know the difference? The Phillies have the stones that this team, unfortunately, does not have. It's very unfortunate. All right. Think this is where I'm going to make my exit because I've already given 30 minutes too much of time to talk about this team. I really don't know how to end this other than leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe. Tomorrow, thankfully, an afternoon game to get it out of the way as early as possible. And then we thankfully have the luxury of, after dealing with tomorrow's afternoon massacre, thankfully we have the luxury of the day off the next day. And I can tell you right now, I am not sure when the podcast is going to be recorded, but I could tell you for free, the podcast is either going to be done on it's either going to be done tomorrow night, Sunday night, after the game at some point, later at night, whatever it may be, or it's going to be done Tuesday because I am not spending my Monday, I am not spending the off day talking about this team. There is no way in hell I am talking about this team on the off day. I'm giving them my Sunday. I'm giving them my Tuesday. I'm not giving them my Monday. Have a good night, everyone.